It's kind of a funny thing, and maybe it's partly why from then on I never really looked back. I just went to the new school and put my entire energy and interest there, and never cared nor worried about what went on where I'd left. That was old business and none of my business. But that year, even though I was very excited, obviously, about being the new superintendent and my first superintendency, I just kept thinking about those boys that I'd coached last year and kind of wanted to see how they were going to do this year. So got a hold of their schedule. And there was a Friday night game at TURON under the lights. We didn't have any lights on the football field to coach. So I decided, what the heck, we'll just go up. So we loaded the kids up, headed up. The car didn't run quite right on the way up, and it got a little bit worse as we went. And there at the ball game, a few people took note of the fact that we were there, but, you know, I wasn't there to be a distraction. So mostly watched the ball game and worried a little bit about the car. Don't remember much about that game. I remember that I thought the boys showed that they'd been pretty well coached that year, as well as showing the fact that probably they'd been coached pretty good the year I was there. So I was pleased with everything and with them, and with the feeling I had about the kind of job I'd done when I was coaching them. Got in the car, and it's not very far from TURON back to Pratt. And by the time we got to Pratt, there's no question, you're probably not going to get back to Hartner in this car. So we found a place. I can't remember if we stayed with friends at Coates or if we just rented a motel or hotel room. But we stayed overnight in the area. Got the car in early the next morning, Saturday morning, and they were operable on Saturday enough that, yeah, they checked it out right away. And I've forgotten what they told us. But I can tell you one thing. They said big bucks, and you're not going to have a car for at least 2 weeks. Well, they knew that, you know, I didn't feel comfortable with that situation, so they got to talking trade. And the more they talked, and the more I weighed what it was going to cost, and so on, I decided, well, you know, that car never did measure up. Maybe missed even more the fact that that beautiful car that just was so good was traded off back there in Japan. Well, the banks were closed. We didn't have any money in the bank to speak of. So I called my dad. Said, Dad, you know, back then cars weren't that expensive. I can't really remember, but I think probably it was like $1,800 or something that we needed to trade. Maybe less than that. Maybe quite a bit less. Anyway, Dad said, yeah, go ahead and write a check, and I'll send you a check, and you can put it in the bank down there at Hartner. So that's what we did, and we were a little happier with that car than we were with that one that we'd gotten in the exchange with the Japanese. And we made our payments. Wasn't easy, but by golly, I'll tell you, you borrow money from my dad, you better expect to pay it, and we did. That third car lasted us quite a while. It did very well. And we at that time were definitely Chevy fans. Not Ford fans. Chevy fans. Did you know that trip cured me completely? Never worried again about how my coaching is being carried over and how the kids were going to do at Coates. Put my emphasis 100% on what's going on in Hartner and what can I do to help in every possible way.